What's up, everybody? Welcome into Hockey Sense. Great to have you with us. As always, I'm Andy Strickland. The season is here. We've got just a handful of preseason games left, and then the regular season takes place next week. And we can't wait for that to get going. October 9th is the season opener for the Blues at home against Minnesota before they hit the road for a couple of games. Then come home. A lot of home games in October. Get your tickets. You know, I was told the other day that the home game, the ticket for the home opener, the season opener against Minnesota is as tough as a ticket to get than we've seen in years. I mean, you got to go back to like 2019 playoffs or something. I mean, just something absolutely crazy. So that's how tough of a ticket it is to get into the building on October 9th. So if you don't have tickets now, it may be difficult to get those tickets. This edition of Hockey Sense, Jamal Mayers will be here. Brought to you by First Community. As always, First Community Credit Union brings us Hockey Sense each and every week here live from the Half Coast Studios. Jamal Mayers will be here. And then Bernie Federko, the Hall of Famer. I'm looking forward to our conversation with him. I want to get into the Blues. We'll dive into the schedule, get his thoughts on some pluses and minuses. First Community, which, of course, brings us Hockey Sense each and every week. You know, did you know First Community Credit Union named one of the top 20 largest lenders? I'm going to say the world. I mean, there's so much news lately about Federal Reserve and interest rates. Will they go down? Will they not? You hear about it every day. It matters because it can impact your ability to buy a home, so that's what matters, right? But you should know that First Community has some great options. Recently listed among the top 20 largest residential mortgage lenders in St. Louis by the St. Louis Business Journal, and there's a reason for that. They have a loan for everyone. There's so many different types of loans to get. You can get all different types. Go to firstcommunity.com to learn more and see what kind of options they have for you. Blue Note Roofing, 314-920-5713. David Novak, give him a call today. Let him take great care of you. Free estimates. You know what he offers: siding, roofing, gutters, soffit, fascia, whatever it is you need. He can take care of you. Works with all the big time insurance companies too. Dirt Cheap Fun, your one-stop party shop, baby. Dirt Cheap Fun, your one-stop party shop. Don't sleep on the party goods and the paper goods and everything else they have going on there. So if you've got any Halloween parties coming up, whatever you have going on, fall parties, Thanksgiving isn't that far away. I mean, we're in October now, so it's game on for the holidays before you know it. But get everything you need: beer, wine, booze. They've got that incredible walk-in beer cooler, lottery tickets, all of it. And they deliver. I think if you're within a 10-mile radius, they will deliver. Use the promo code BLUES, and you get free delivery. How nice is that? Free delivery when you use the promo code BLUES to have it delivered. Don't leave your house. Download the app and do it today. Get all the information there and learn more about everything they have to offer, including delivery. Dirt Cheap Fun, your one-stop party shop, baby. Cheap. Fun. Dirt Cheap Fun, your one-stop party shop. Lordo's Diamonds. Get that special someone, something special in your life from Lordo's Diamonds. 314-432-8008. Right there in the heart of the do. You can't miss it. Mike and Jimmy, everybody. They're all incredible people. Cindy, Pat, everyone over there at Lordo's Diamonds. Again, 314-432-8008. Right there in the heart of the do. Next to Truffles. You can't miss it. They've been around for 70 years. That's all you need to know about them. Cross Country Mortgage. You know, 1 in every 35 loans in the country is closed with Cross Country Mortgage. Unbelievable benefits for the first responders. If you are critically injured or killed in the line of duty, you are covered up to $525,000, which means when you leave your house every day, you know you have that peace of mind knowing your family's going to be taken care of in the event something bad happens. And we hope nothing bad happens. We think about all the first responders every single day. So again, but you're covered up to $525,000. If you mention my name or Hockey Sense, you're going to save up to $2,000 or more on closing costs. So they waive all the closing costs and the appraiser fees and all of that. So just by mentioning Andy Strickland, mentioning Hockey Sense, you got to call Mark Cooper, though, 314-713-4377. 314-713-4377 for Mark Cooper with Cross Country Mortgage. All right. I was out at the rink today. A couple of things to talk about. I mean, the one thing the coaching staff is having difficulty figuring out is who's going to be that third line right winger. We talked about this in Hockey Sense last week. In the last couple of weeks, the top 2 lines are set. The top 8 forwards, we know who those are. And then it's getting past that, trying to figure it out. I mean, Dvorsky played on the wing at times during training camp. You've had Bukestad, who was on the wing today in practice. He's going to play with Schenn tomorrow. And they were hoping to get Neighbors in the lineup as well, but he's a little bit sore after playing the last couple of games, so Neighbors isn't going to play tomorrow night when Ottawa comes to town. But who's going to grab a hold of that third line right wing spot? I thought Oscar Sundqvist maybe would be an option, but talking to Jim Montgomery today, it sounds like they want to keep him in the middle. He's got such a good stick down low, they don't want to mess with that. So you've got Torpochenko, you've got Walker, you've got Sundqvist, I think, is your fourth line. I think that's settled in. And to be honest with you, if you want to get Bukestad in the lineup, which they do, that's where he's going to ultimately land, is on the wing with Neighbors and Schenn. Pius Suter, man, he's been getting a lot of attention from the coaching staff. Like, they're raving about this guy. Like, he doesn't play with a lot of flash, doesn't play with a lot of pace, but he is incredibly intelligent. I was talking to Dylan Holloway about Suter today. Suter's centering that line with Holloway and Kyrou. And we said this when they signed Suter, that he doesn't play with a ton of pace, but he's quick enough and skilled enough, but most importantly, smart enough. He's got such a great hockey IQ that he fits in fine playing with, guys who can truly skate, like a Kyrou, like a Holloway. And so, he's going to, earn that opportunity to play with those two guys. And how good do they look? I mean, they've got that over-under play in the offensive faceoff. I mean, they did it in the left dot yesterday. Suter's got to win the faceoff. You see Kyrou and Holloway talk about it, but Holloway pops out, and the key is he's got to pop out right away. The puck's got to get to Kyrou, and he's got to lay it on a platter there for Holloway just to let one go. He's got a very underrated one-timer too, and he works on it a lot. How many points is Jordan Kyrou going to end up with and Dylan Holloway going to end up with? If these two guys continue to show that chemistry that they exhibited last year, and if that continues, I mean, what are we talking? 80 plus, 85 plus? Can they get to 90? I don't know. What's that next contract for Dylan Holloway going to look like? Is it an 8 times 8 contract? I mean, he's going to get paid. I mean, this guy could score 30 goals this year. He's got to stay healthy, though. He had a big hit last night. A monster hit right along the wall near the Blues bench. And I don't want to mess up the kid's name because everyone here in Hockey Sense deserves to have their name said properly. But it was Bastian, who's a good player. I mean, like a really good player. Nathan Bastian, who also happens to be very close friends with Dylan Holloway. They're very good friends. They skated together this summer. And I think how many games has he played throughout the course of his career? 276 games. Good player. Nathan Bastian, but he took a heavy hit from Dylan Holloway. I love the way Holloway's skating. Like when he comes in with speed and his ability just to get the puck off his stick with his quick release and his hard shot. Like, I mean, he's coming at you with a lot of speed. It's difficult for the goaltender to pick it up, and we saw that last night with his second goal. Kyrou, if you remember, came into the NHL following a 70-assist season during his last year in junior. I mean, a great reputation as a playmaker and as a passer. And I know has a reputation of being more of a goal scorer here in the NHL than he is a passer. But this guy can really distribute the puck, and he's never really played with a scorer the way that he is now with Dylan Holloway. He was always the shooter, Kyrou was, when he was paired with Robert Thomas for as long as he was. Thomas is the passer, Kyrou would be the shooter. And listen, he can shoot the puck as well, and he can score a lot of goals, as we've seen from Kyrou. But Kyrou, don't sleep on his playmaking ability and his vision and his hockey sense. And as long as he continues to play with Holloway, he's going to have an opportunity to really put up some numbers. And Holloway will too. I just hope they stay together during the course of the year and they perform at the level and at the rate that we all believe that they can and kind of what they've shown so far. So I get to the third line. I try to figure this one out. You got Matthew Joseph, who's going to play with Shen and Bukestad Thursday against Ottawa. And Bukestad's going to be on the right side, I believe. I think Joseph will play the left side, which will be occupied by Jake Neighbors. If I had to guess right now, I would think that Texier is on the outside in terms of being in the lineup on the opening night, and Joseph may end up being on the outside as well. Bukestad's going to get an opportunity to play the wing with Shen. Like I said, Sundqvist will center the fourth line. And Bukestad has a lot of experience playing the wing. He's played a lot of wing over the course of his career. In fact, last season, when he was playing center, he was playing with Lawson Krause most of the time. But when he was on the wing, he was playing with who was he playing with? Let me go back to my notes here because I wrote it down today. Who he was playing the most with. Kerfoot and Stenlund. Stenlund was centering that line. And, but Bukestad over the course of his career, he's played a lot of wings, so he's comfortable over there. Super nice guy. I think he'll fit in well. Heavy body, too. He sent Milan Lucic into the boards today. We're going to talk about Lucic coming up with Jamal Mayers. And we'll get his take on where things are at with Lucic. All signs point towards him making the team. I felt like that from the beginning. Now, has he flashed in camp? Is he going to catch your attention? I know a lot of people are going to focus on his lack of foot speed and whatnot. He had a couple shifts where he really had a hard time last night. The game against Dallas, I don't know when this is, when you're listening to this, but the game against Dallas, he had some rough ones. But he also had a couple of good shifts where he got in on the forecheck, was able to get deliver some good hits and demonstrate some of that physicality. I had a player tell me, listen, how nice would it be to have him in the lineup if Foligno's running around when they played Minnesota? Now, there is a new loophole in the, not loophole, but something that was negotiated in the next CBA that applies to this particular year. They've moved some things up, dress code being one of them. And, playoff LTIR, all that type of stuff, which now applies for this season. But one of those is the PTOs. And I know that Lucic is on a PTO right now. You don't have to make that decision with him by the first day of the regular season. So he could still be on a PTO when the season begins if they want to give him more time to heal up and to get his feet underneath him and to really get going. I think you have an additional 10 days after the season opens to kind of extend your evaluation process with Milan Lucic. But listen, his kids were at the game last night. He's moved out of Jake Neighbors' house. I don't know, man. I mean, all signs point towards him sticking. Has he had a great camp? Has he wowed anybody? No. But again, he dealt with a groin injury. You almost saw that coming with a guy like him who had missed as much time as he did. But he's going to be in the lineup again on Thursday against Ottawa, and we'll see how it goes. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him make the team. I felt like that. I felt that way from the very beginning. They recruited him so hard to bring him here. But again, nothing etched in stone. We'll see how that plays out. I'm not going to make any real predictions on that. Jamal Mayers coming up next. We'll get into a lot of stuff with him, and we'll talk with Bernie Federko coming up later on in the show and talk to the Hall of Famer about a number of things, Blues related. Hackett Security. Make sure you're secure. I'm going on the road this year, and I'll tell you what, it is a major, major peace of mind. I mean, when I know that my house is secure, my family is secure, it's being watched by the incredible people over there at Hackett Security. I know there's a lot of these corporate companies out there You know the familiar names. We don't need to get into those. But listen, they're not really truly securing your house. They're not watching your house. But you do get that with Hackett Security. They're just different. Premier security systems. You get the cameras, you get everything. They combine incredible professional experience, in-depth knowledge, best-in-class systems. They're your complete source for protecting and securing your personal or business environment. And I say personal or business because they can handle the business part too. And again, these guys do so much high-end security things and stuff, and government buildings and different government agencies that they secure. They've got people on staff that speak multiple languages. So if you need someone to speak Mandarin or Russian or something like that, listen, they got it taken care of. They're the real deal when it comes to your security. So when you want to design your residential security, nothing's more important than your family and your protection of your assets and all of that. So that's why at Hackett, they guarantee you that peace of mind. That's one thing they can guarantee you. So they come out, inspect your property. They'll design a customized security plan for you. So check that out today with Hackett Security. Again, call Mark Cooper, 314-713-4377. Cross Country Mortgage. This is Hockey Sense, as always, brought to you by First Community Credit Union. Where are you doing your banking? Make sure you're doing your banking in the smartest way and do it with First Community. We'll take a break. Jamal Mayers, he joins me next. Don't forget Bernie Federko coming your way before we get out of here on this edition of Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community Credit Union. We are at the Half Coast Studios. Maddie's in the house. Great to have you with us, as always, for a weekly tradition here on Hockey Sense. All right, back here on Hockey Sense, Jammers here, number 21, baby.
That's it.
The season's around the corner. Did you always get nervous for the season opener?
Nervous? Not nervous. Excited.
Never?
Excited.
Yeah, but excitement can sometimes lead to nerves.
Well, I'll give you a little nugget here for your team.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, my voice is a little off because...
Are you yelling?
5 games in a weekend. Trying to keep 12-year-olds excited and motivated.
Yeah.
But I always say that to kids, to internalize the nerves as that's like you're anxious.
Yeah.
And anxious means you can't wait for it to start.
Right.
So that's a good thing. If you don't feel anxious, you're not ready.
Right.
So it's not nerves, it's you're anxious for it to start.
Would you wear a suit to the games if you had the option?
Now?
Yeah.
The way the rules change?
Yeah.
No.
What about these guys that are showing up in like Lululemon polos and khakis looking like they're going to like a midget AAA game? Like put a different outfit on.
I like the idea, especially at home,
but you got
of showing some style.
Yeah. You got to show some style.
I'd rather do it. Baseball's got it down. They come in, hat however they want, cool. I don't even know what's cool anymore, but looking cool, showing some style, I think is important.
Okay.
I think the fans love it.
I feel like the majority of players I talk to, I feel like at home you're going to see more suits. I think on the road is where you may see a little bit of a looser style. But I do have players telling me like it's not going to be like the NBA and the NFL where, these guys make so much money, Jamal, and they've got their own personal stylists. And not to say hockey players don't make money, because they do, but not all of them.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of them are interested in hiring like a stylist or going out and buying some like, Balenci, outfit for $5,000, right? I just don't see them wanting to do that. Some will. The Patrick Laines of the world, and there's other guys that'll do it. I just think if you're not going to wear a suit, you can't just be rolling up like you're 16 years old going to a game, though.
Like, I like what you have on. Like the cargo, what do you call that? Jacket, shirt jacket.
Yeah.
That's a good look.
For if you're a player?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yes.
Like the NBA players, like you're not going to see that. Where they have purses and stuff like that, and like
that's ridiculous.
But those guys have too much money. Like they're making like $30 million a year. Like they just have. What else are they gonna do with their? They have way too much money to play with.
Well, as we used to say, you can't buy style. You can't buy style.
Really?
You can't. You can't because.
Explain
funny story.
That to me.
Jamie Rivers had this, and he might say some stuff about the way I dress. Fine, it goes both ways. But he had this really god awful T-shirt.
Okay.
And he said, "What do you mean? It's Versace." And I'm like, I don't care. Right. It's terrible. So you can't buy style.
Yeah. It's like Cam's always like, Hugo Boss, you know what I mean? And Hugo, it's great. Hugo Boss is great, but it's like it has changed a little bit in terms of what these guys are doing. It's more like almost like custom clothing when they're not wearing suits. I'm just really curious to see how it goes, and I can't fault a player. I was talking to a couple guys today. Like, they're just not really that into it,
That's fine.
and I think they're just going to end up wearing suits. And I think when you hear the head coach come out and he's not thrilled about the rule change, and the captain isn't thrilled about the rule change. Like when you go to practice, this is what you're wearing to practice. When you go to, you know, a game, if you put a suit on to a game where you're not wearing it to a practice, is your mentality changed knowing you're ready to go play a game? And a lot of these kids, I call them kids, but a lot of these players who I talked to today, they're like, I've just been wearing a suit to our games since high school. You know,
I think it's going to take 3 to 5 years
to find it.
Yeah. It's a big change. It's a big change culturally.
Yeah.
I like it. I think I want to see more of the player style.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think at home you should wear whatever you want, no one sees you. You go underneath the rink.
No, but the cameras are there now.
Okay, no public really sees you. You go, yeah, the camera's perfect. You get to see your personal style.
Right.
But no one sees you leave.
No.
If you go to dinner, you might even go home to change.
No one sees you leave.
On the road is when you want to dress up a little bit.
Really? Did you like wearing suits? Like, didn't you hate having to wear a suit on the plane?
Yeah, some teams was just, wear no tie, wear a polo with the jacket. I think the look of what they do in European football would be really good.
What are they doing?
So they have like a team blazer with a crest. So let's say it's black or gray, but a team crest.
Yeah, right.
Everyone wears the same color blazer.
Okay.
And you can alternate the pants.
Okay.
So when they get off, the same crisp white shirt.
But everyone has different pants and different shoes and different whatever.
Well, you could say today's the first game we're wearing gray, second game we're wearing black. So they all look the same. It looks pretty good. You see Barcelona coming off the bus, they look sharp.
It's funny because we do these sit downs with the players. They call it media day. There's not really a lot of media out there, but the players is kind of, they funnel them in one after the next. So I think we did 15 players that day. And a lot of times the questions are given to me to ask because it's stuff the team needs or the FanDuel needs content-wise. And so it was one of the questions for each player was, who's the best dressed player on the team? Who's the worst dressed player?
Yeah.
And they always have to think about who the best dressed player is. But they don't have to think very long to find out who the worst.
I know, right away.
And also the saying, I don't even want to.
You can't even say?
Can't even.
Oh, you can't bring that up.
It's not fair to the kid. Jimmy Snuggerud.
Oh, he's
young. He doesn't even that's an easy one.
First of all, someone's got to go buy him a suit.
Exactly.
Someone with a real custom suit should fit like.
Yeah, but I don't think he cares. Like, that's the thing. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he just wants to play hockey. You know what I mean? He's probably never given any thought into his fashion or style ever in his life.
Okay. Well,
some people are like that. But then when you get to the National League, like, you want to look like a National Leaguer, right?
At some point, there should be a veteran that either takes him to his tailor or buys him a suit and says, and he'll never go back.
No. I remember Pat Maroon telling me years ago, because he had no dress game whatsoever. Suits were terrible. And Sheldon Souray, gave him, a half dozen suits or whatever.
Yeah.
And Sheldon Souray, knew how to dress and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So, you ever play with him? No?
Never did, no. But great style.
Yeah.
Big guy, tough, left-handed.
Yeah. Jeez. He was tough.
Scary tough.
We just had David Legwand on with us. And, of course, he was a second overall pick at Nashville, first draft pick in Nashville history, played there forever. You played against him a ton.
Yeah.
He says he thinks you and Jordan Tutu fought every time you guys played.
Pretty much.
Did you? You fought Tutu a lot, huh?
I thought he was reckless.
Well,
I didn't like him as a player. He was very, very dangerous.
He backed it up, though.
Oh, he absolutely did. But he just played a certain way at the beginning of his career. And he was one of the way I fought, I didn't expose myself very often in a fight. But with him, I didn't care.
You're just ready to fight.
I was
fighting angry.
Yes, different with him. And come to know he's a great guy.
Great guy, yeah.
But just playing against him, I didn't like him.
Okay.
So he's just trying to hurt my teammates.
Well, yeah, and that's what's so great about having him on your team.
Absolutely.
Is that the other team hates you.
I mean, dude, in fighting him, I hit him probably harder in a couple of those fights than I've hit
Really?
anybody, and it didn't even phase him. That was a little bit scary, actually. Imagine punching a guy
I
as
remember.
hard as you can,
Yeah.
flush, and I could tell it didn't even phase him.
He would hurt guys when he played the ball. I remember he hit Carlo Koliakov behind the net. Carlos he may still be hurt from that. Possibly. He hit Carlos so hard and just folded him. But he wasn't the only one. There were so many of the guys that he would do that to.
Oh, yeah.
He came in with so much speed, and he was one of those hitters, right, who just would not slow down before he would make contact.
Yes.
And that's where, like, I guess you could say recklessness or just his mentality, he was trying to hurt you when he hit you.
Yes. Yes.
Which is not a bad thing.
It's gone. It's gone from the game. No one does.
Really?
That. Not like that. No way. Dallas Drake, him, Brown that was in LA.
Torres.
Yeah. That's gone.
Did you like the Torres? I mean, I know you had your run in with Torres in the playoffs, but like, what about like a Matt Cook?
No. Didn't like him.
Who was honest? Who ran around, but they were a little more honest about it.
Barnaby.
Okay.
What made them? Brad May.
What made those guys honest?
They never said no.
Oh, okay. So if they hit something, and you needed to,
okay, let's go. Every time.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of respect for Barnaby. Not the biggest guy. Fought heavyweights. I don't think he was a great fighter, if I'm being honest.
He's just crazy.
But he was fearless.
Fearless.
So, like, I mean, you take guys like that, those are the toughest guys to play against. Because you look in the lineup back then, and you're like, oh, no. Like, not oh, no, but you're like, if he does something stupid, I'm going to have to fight him.
Yeah.
Like, every game.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wow.
And it's funny, like, Scott Mellenby taught me that.
Yeah.
The game, when the rule changed, the instigator rule came in. He's like, Jammer, you have to go make the fight happen. Like, it's not like I was just out there fighting.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say they did something to our player. The response in that game that I played was to tell their bench, I'm not going after you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give it to your better player.
Yeah.
And then what ends up inevitably happening, the better player says to the guy, hey, you idiot. Now he's going to be running around looking to hit me. And it stops it, right?
So, yeah. Well, we just had Tony Twist and Kelly Chase in here together.
Nice.
And we'll release that next week. And they talk a lot about that. You know, and that's kind of what went down. That was the mentality of the game back when you guys played. More so when you first entered the league, you know, probably than it was when you
not at the end
left the league.
Yeah.
But it certainly was when they played, you know. So, yeah, people will enjoy that conversation. What do you think of Holloway and Kyrou in the preseason game against Dallas?
Their chemistry is undeniable, and you kind of feel bad for whoever's the third guy in the line, but just go to the net. Mm-hmm. They're not going to score in every shot. There's going to be rebounds.
Yeah.
Go retrieve, hunt. They play the same pace. Mm-hmm. I think that's why it works. And they have a good friendship, you can tell.
Yeah.
And that friendship is off the ice. It translates on the ice. It's kind of some of the stuff I'm trying to teach our group is like, we're trying to get them in pairs.
Yeah.
You know, and I think when you have a pair, you kind of have some predictability for each other.
Yeah. Some
understanding of where you like to be. So there's less thinking.
Is it unusual to have two wingers have that chemistry?
No, not in today's game.
Versus a center and a winger.
Yeah, that's like archaic in a way, right? It's just because the reason why one of the wingers would have to be the guy who has the puck more.
Yeah.
Because it used to be when I started, the center was the guy who had the puck.
Right.
So it's not that way anymore.
Okay.
Right? You think about all these wingers that have the puck a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Kane, in Tampa, Kucherov, guys that are wingers. There's a lot. There's Kaprizov, Marner. There's tons of them now that have the puck more than their center.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What do you think their numbers could look like at the end of the year? I mean, if they stay together and, you know, continue the chemistry that we've seen from them over the last calendar year.
Their numbers will be predicated on two things. One, that the number one line's production is greater than theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Then their numbers will be higher because you'll have different matchups. The second component to me is how successful the power play is,
Right.
and if they're on that first unit together. Those two factors, I think, will determine where they are point-wise.
Okay. That's fair. Lucic, I mean, his game was probably slowing down a little bit prior to him missing as much time as he's missed. Can you just expect him to get his legs back underneath him and find it again?
To me, if he can't get there, then he's done.
Mm-hmm. Because the physicality doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't mean he won't make the team.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain guys they have in the lineup that they sent down that they can call back up.
Yeah.
They might see what he does for 15 games.
Does presence matter?
Not if no one will fight you. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Like he's got to be able to be physical.
Okay.
That's the priority.
Yeah.
The toughness comes after the physicality.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not quick enough to get there, then you lose you're not going to scare anyone.
Yeah.
Buddy, you never even hit anybody. Like,
no.
Well, why would I fight you?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. And, he's going to play again Thursday night against Ottawa. And we'll see, what that looks like. And, getting another game under his belt. He took a hard hit in practice on Wednesday. They were just kind of battling from behind. Bukestad put him into the wall, like hard. He got up and like, I mean, it was loud, but I think he's okay. But sometimes you just know when someone's at the end too. You know what I mean? But I do think they really want him to be on the team. They want him to make the team. I think the players are pulling for him to find a way to make the team. I had a player tell me, it'd be nice to have a player like that when Foligno's running around like next week, for example. When he's here, it'd be nice to have a guy like that on the other side. But
I can't stress this enough. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
If Foligno's playing 16 minutes a night and he's being physical, he doesn't have to fight him.
Right.
Go, what are you doing? He has to be effective physically
on the
forecheck.
Yeah.
Disruptive.
Yeah.
Running D. Then the intimidation at faceoffs in the neutral zone matter.
If he's impacting the game.
If you're impacting the game, then Foligno has to come to him.
Yeah.
It doesn't work the other way around. Not anymore.
What about the young guys? Like the one thing they're having not difficulty doing, it's just that they've given the opportunity to a lot of guys to earn that spot on the third line, right wing position, to play with Shannon Neighbors. You still have two pretty good players to play with. I think Neighbors looks great right now too.
Yep.
And they've tried Dvorsky for a little bit. You've had other guys there. So now Bukestad, I think Bukestad's going to be the most logical guy to move over and play the wing. He's played a lot of wing throughout the course of his career. I said that earlier. And then Sundqvist can stay in the middle and play your fourth line. So that means Joseph is probably an odd man out. Not to say that he won't make the team, but may not crack the lineup on opening night. And Texier, we'll see between him and Lucic. You still have Dvorsky around as well, too. So, we'll see what the final roster looks like.
Yeah, I mean, does Joseph kill penalties?
Yes.
Well,
they had Holloway killing penalties in the preseason game against Dallas a little bit.
Right.
They just want to listen. I think they would look at that as a way for Holloway to get his ice time up to that 19-minute range, somewhere around there.
I like Joseph. It's clear to me that organizationally, they don't know if he's high on their list.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's effective. He plays with pace. Who did you say is going to play in the 4-hole center?
Sundqvist.
Yeah. He's better than him. I know there's this fascination with Sundqvist. Everyone loves him. I don't think he skates well enough. And if you want to play with pace in your bottom six, you need to make tough decisions. I think it's a no-brainer to me that you get someone in there that's faster.
Sundqvist, they like his just overall awareness and responsibility. They, to use the coach's term, they say he's got such a good stick down low. So, in the defensive end. So they like him in the middle versus on the wing.
Yeah, that makes sense. So just saying the pace is not going to get better.
Penalties too,
Okay.
And he'll block a shot, like.
I get it, but for me, there's this. He
And-
gets elevated
Yeah.
to like second line at times. He's on the power play. You're overplaying a guy that I think that other teams are probably going, how the heck does that guy play so much in St. Louis?
Have you seen Mayu play? Have you watched him at all?
Yeah.
He's going to be good too, man.
He's gonna be really good.
I don't even think he's played 10 games in the league.
He's gonna be really good.
Like, they've got some, and Broberg looks good too, like they've just.
Oh, you know what's funny is 2 years ago we were looking at the D going, how are they gonna change these D?
Mhm.
They're getting old. Like very quickly they've been able to revamp the D very quickly.
It's amazing. I don't know how we're going to revisit this whole Broberg Holloway thing 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
I think it was a massive mistake. I think they should have qualified one of them. They probably should have tendered and saved Broberg.
Yeah.
No one would have predicted that Holloway would be this,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very safe to assume you could see what Broberg was.
Yeah.
And
What do you think they're saying in Edmonton management?
I think the combination of new GM, a lot of newness, not time to evaluate, and the time crunch involved in all of that
Yeah.
created that storm for that Army saw coming and knew that he wouldn't be able to evaluate it and make that
Right.
decision.
Right.
So that's why he probably combined them at two
Yeah.
and really muddy the waters.
The Blues may have watched him longer than Stan Bowman did.
Right.
I mean, he just came on board right that offseason, so
That's right.
it's really interesting to see how that plays out. Kaprizov signs a big deal. They got it up to 17. I really thought he was gone. I'm not going to lie. I think a lot of people probably felt that way. Maybe that he was just looking to go play elsewhere and didn't know if the pieces in Minnesota would be there who he'd want to play with over the course of the next 8 years. But $136 million, man, it's just tough to walk away from once it's on paper.
And that's setting the bar. What's really interesting to me is what things look like in 3 years.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen in theory is the cap's going to go up considerably. There's guys that have signed contracts in the last 3 years that are top 50 players that are on AAV somewhere between 8 and 10.
Yeah.
Those guys now look like money-wise, cap-wise, middle-range players that you're going to be able to gobble up 4 or 5 of those guys. I think there's going to be some players that are going to talk in the offseason and make their way to teams and fit under the cap and then just fill your team with entry-level player. Like, it's going to change.
Yeah.
In the next 5 years, it's going to look really different.
And Luke Hughes signs gets $9 million per year out of Jersey. So again, all these guys that didn't have deals, Kaprizov, I guess, still had a year left, right? So he's, a lot of these guys are starting to, get their contracts signed. I do think McDavid, because I said all along that he's going to sign somewhere in that 16 and a half range. I don't think it changes that much, only because I think he still wants to allow the team to build around him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's looking just to take the most money. Now, when he leaves, it may be a different story when he goes elsewhere. But I think for Edmonton, I think he still wants to allow the organization to add pieces that he can play with if he signs a short-term deal.
I don't think he takes 20% of the cap, but I don't think I can't see him taking less
than Kaprizov.
I just like.
But it's a different situation because he's not signing a max deal, whatever. I think a max deal, maybe it brings that AAV up a little bit. I think he's going to have to give a little if the organization's going to be like, okay, we'll sign you to a 2-year deal, 3-year deal, whatever we're talking, 4-year deal.
I just can't see it. I never seen players that good.
No, I'm with you. If he does, it'll be different. Crosby did. Crosby's at like 8.7 right now. It's amazing, like how this guy's been underpaid really throughout the course of his career.
That's a great example you bring up. Was it a good idea for him to do that? He did that for what reason?
Right.
To make the team competitive and help them. Did that work?
You think he's going to leave?
I think one more year and he's out.
Yeah. Or this year he leaves. What's the point of staying?
I think.
And plus, if you want to come back and you're going to work with the organization, own the team, whatever you're going to do, like you just want to set the team up moving forward to
That's a great point.
Just get the pieces in order to build this team up for success in the future. They're going to be really bad.
Is he going to Montreal
I don't know.
or Colorado?
Maybe he'll come to St. Louis, where he's best friends with Braden Shen. Close friends with Braden Shen.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Really good friends. Really good friends. He's going to go somewhere where I think he thinks he has a chance to win, like now. So I don't know if Montreal fits in that category. A lot of people are saying Montreal, but that's just the only thing. I just wonder. But anyway, who brings you to Hockey Sense?
Well, first of all, we have a new sponsor, Spas and More, and the local Master Spas dealer with 2 locations, Sunset Hills in Missouri and Overland Park in Kansas City, Kansas. Mike Leahy is the owner of Spas and More. They're they use Master Spas, which is an American hot tub and swim spa manufacturer in Fort Wayne, Indiana. They're the largest hot tub and swim spa manufacturer in the U.S. They have that Michael Phelps cold tub, chili cold tubs. Got to get one, bud. I'm getting one. Spas and More offers high quality hot tubs, swim spas, cold tubs, infrared saunas, and all of your health and wellness and relaxation needs. Turn your backyard into an oasis of your dreams with a Master Spas from Spas and More. Spas and More, located at 12957 Gravois Road in Sunset Hills, where we put the in spa.
Okay. I like that. Oh, sorry. We're just playing stuff here.
Geez.
What's for dinner this weekend at the mayor's household?
Of course, Barlino's. If I'm not cooking, which I'd made unbelievable chicken parm last night. I don't watch the video and learn how to do it because I love it at Barlino's, but they have the best one. They have 5 restaurants: Barlino's South, Barlino's Osteria, Chris's Pancake and Dining, Chris at the Docket, and Barlino's Twin Oaks. Seen you there before. They forge many lasting relationships with their customers. Their family model: cook good food, serve plenty. 50+ years in business. Only 2 places to dine: at home or at one of Barlino's family of restaurants.
And Dobbs Tires and Auto Centers.
Oh, buddy, you know. It's hard to believe because it's still hot. I got shorts on.
I know.
Winter is coming.
It is.
And when that happens, you got to change your tires.
It's going to be a messy one, too, I understand.
Really?
Yeah. So
the groundhog? Or
that's what Cam says.
Oh.
He follows the weather.
What's he, a groundhog? Or he goes like this?
The weatherman.
All right. Well, they'll take care of you. Doesn't matter what you drive. Car, light truck, van, SUV, CUV, hybrid. They'll get your car in, diagnostic, fix it up. They don't just do tires, but they absolutely will take care of you. In fact, I had a nail in my tire about 2 weeks ago. Went in right away without question. It was up on the little thing, whatever they do.
Yeah, take it out.
In 10 minutes, take it in, patch it up. And I was back on the road in no time. So they'll take care of you, not just if you're Andy Strickland. They'll take care of anybody. And they'll make sure that your car's up and running and you're on the right kind of tires.
Yeah, they're the best. All right, Jammer. Great to see you, man. Next week, we'll be talking about the season.
Let's go.
Looking forward to it, as always.
Here we go.
All right, back here on Hockey Sense. Brought to you by First Community. The one and only Bernie Federko. How long have you been living in St. Louis, Bernie? Like, how long have you been in St. Louis?
Well, this is 49 years since I was drafted. So I came here in September of 1976. So basically 49 years now. I mean, I left to Detroit. I was in KC for a little while in the minors, but coming up in February, it'll be 49 full years.
Did you know anything about St. Louis when you came here at all?
No, heck no. Not a clue. And I'd never been to any place that was hotter ever. When I got off the plane the beginning of September and got hit by the humidity here, I'd never felt anything like that. So, no, I had to do a lot of research. Once I was drafted by the Blues, I had to figure out where this was. I knew obviously I knew what the St. Louis Blues were all about, but I certainly didn't know what the city of St. Louis was all about. And it was a learning experience and certainly still love it here. It's a great place to live and raise a family.
All right, so you have your Hall of Fame hockey career, but now you've been doing television probably longer than you played hockey, to be honest. Like, how long you've been doing TV? Who got you into television? Who was the first person to come to you to say, hey, I think you'd be good at this, you should get into it?
Actually, Andy, when I announced my retirement in Detroit in 1990, I got a call from Zip Seppa at Channel 4 and asked me to come and do some work for Channel 4, doing the sports and doing the hockey part of it. So I came back from Detroit and Zip had me right on the set there and doing some stuff with me. And I started covering the Blues hockey there. I did that for I think 3 years for Channel 4 and then did some other stuff. And then in 96, when the Blues were doing they were doing a simulcast at the time they decided to go and split the radio and TV. I started doing radio in 96, 97. And I did that for 3 years. And then in 2000, I started doing TV, and I've been doing it for this will be 26 years now doing TV.
So what do you tell players that ask you about maybe wanting to get in the business? I mean, it's got to be one of the best things to do besides playing, right? I mean, coaching has got to be rewarding too. It pays a lot, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. I mean, is this the closest thing to being a player, as being a broadcaster?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think that there's a lot of, I mean, you're still involved with the team, especially nowadays. I mean, we get to travel with the team. We're on their charters. We're staying in the same hotels. So, during the time that I was traveling, it was a great thing. Yeah. And you're part of the organization, but you're really not part of the team, yet you're around the team all the time. So it's a pretty special place to be. And I enjoyed the heck out of it while I was, doing the color and then traveling with the team. And I'm certainly, since I've been in the studio, I've enjoyed it as well, because I get to go to the rink, get to practice, get to do all the things, watching the guys, talking to the guys. And yet I'm not really having to be there and make the decisions that you have to be. And it's a lot easier to, I think, do your job this way than it is when all kinds of things are going on.
All right, so we're watching the preseason game against Dallas. And sometimes I just wonder, like, what's going through your mind when you're watching hockey? Like, Bernie, what's changed the most since when you played? Like, how would players do in your era, in this particular era? And I'm talking about players of your ilk, the skilled guys. How would that translate to the modern game?
I mean, you know what? I think it's always evolution. I've talked about the really good, the great players of the past would have all been the great players of the time now. I mean, if you go back to Gordie Howe, I mean, if you put Gordie Howe in a situation where he was being paid what the guys are being paid now, and he would have a personal trainer, he would be doing all kinds of things with hockey camps and with personal coaches that make you better. I mean, whatever it is. So, I mean, I've always said that, but I mean, I think the game is much less physical. I think that the game now is the intimidation factor is not in the game. I mean, when we played the game, guys were out to hurt you. I mean, when you played against the opposition, and especially in the playoffs, they were wanting. I mean, if we talked about someone wanted to take your head off, well, they did, and they meant it. It was not a business back then; it was a game, and I think more so now, it's a business, and the guys all respect the fact that they're all in the same business, and you don't want to be taken out of your business by some stupid, foolish act. And of course, there's all kinds of cameras now in the building, so you can't get away with that. That spear in the back of the legs or something like you could in the old days, where only one referee and no cameras. So you could find yourself laying on the middle of the ice and no one would know exactly what happened other than the fans that were watching. And but there was no television there, so there's no replay, so you couldn't really get an idea what it was. So I think the game, for that reason, is probably the biggest difference. Is the intimidation factor is totally out. It's a skilled game now, much more than it's ever been. Yes, there's still physical part of it, but for the most part, it's a completely skilled game.
Who'd you hate playing against? Who was the hardest for you to go toe-to-toe against? You knew it was going to be a difficult night. Defenseman, and it doesn't have to be from a physicality standpoint. He just had a great stick and a good read. It was just going to be a challenge for you going into that particular game.
Well, I think all the really good teams were that way, Andy. I mean, it was always hard playing against the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, the Islanders were one of the great teams in the defense, the core that they had, Montreal's defense core, of course. It was always hard playing against the Flyers, Bobby Clark, or Kindrachuk. I mean, they had a really, really good teams. I mean, they played much more physical than anybody else did. But, I mean, there was a lot. I mean, and there was always, I mean, Hilliard Graves played for the Vancouver Canucks. He was a defenseman, always wanted to take your knees out. I mean, he was trying to take your knees out. So the first thing that you learned was, from the older guys, is that when you're on the ice and if Graves is out there, make sure that you got out of your corner of your eye, you're watching him, because if you got your head down and if you're coming through the middle, he'll take your knees out and he'll want to hurt you. And so it was all those little things that were so different back there. So it was hard, but I mean, it was hard playing against, Dale Hunter, Paul Gillis, Dan Daou. I mean, we played a lot against these. I mean, Brian Trottier was a hard player to play against, but he didn't play the same way those other guys played. But I mean, Trotz was just a really, really good, solid player. So it's Clark. So there was a lot of hard players to play against. But I mean, Tommy Lysiak in Chicago, and the rivalry we had with Chicago was always tough. So the physicalness and I mean, everybody was out for blood there, even the fans when we played against the Blackhawks.
Who's a guy that you see now that says, hey, this guy could thrive in our era and deal with all of that? I mean, a guy like Tom Wilson comes to mind. I mean, there's different types of guys. Is there? Give me somebody.
Braden Shen would thrive in that old way that we played hockey. I mean, you can see and Wilson's is a good example too. So a lot of those guys that really play, the physical side of the game that are looking to have an edge out there are all the guys that would have played in our era, and they would have fit right in. And I mean, all of our guys didn't play that way, but there's very few guys that play the way they do now that could have fit in there. There's much more players, I think, now or that played then could fit into this era because the way they played than the other way around.
How much, I don't want to say surprised, because you could be excited, too, to see where this goes. But when you watch a Dylan Holloway, I mean, I think everyone knew that he had a lot of ability and he had speed and he had some scoring ability and skill and all of that. But, I mean, it's all coming together, Bernie. I mean, he's like looking like he could be a special player here moving forward.
Yeah, Andy, we talked about that last night when we were watching him, and I just love the way he plays. I mean, I love the way he played last year. I mean, he's one of those kids that we didn't know what to expect. I mean, for Edmonton to let him go, you thought, okay, then he must not be that good of a player. But when you see what he did last year, I mean, once he got comfortable, I mean, I think the sky's the limit for him. I really think that this guy could turn into a superstar in the league because of the way he plays. First of all, he's got great speed. He's got a great set of hands. I mean, the goals he scored last night, great shots as well. But he goes to the middle of the ice. I mean, he's not afraid to get into the corners and dig. He's one of those guys that he retrieves the puck better than anybody I've seen around. When he loses it or someone takes it back or takes it from him, he can hardly wait to get it back. And he gets his face and his nose right in there to do that. And that takes a special kind of guy to do it. So he scored a bunch of goals last year and unfortunately got hurt there. And I think that if he would have been in the playoffs, there's no question that the Blues would have beaten Winnipeg. But I think that really the sky's the limit for him. And I think that we're going to see the way he's work ethic in practices too, Andy. He's out there till the end practicing those one-timers. He's trying to get better each and every day. And I think that he's one of those guys that I don't think he understands and realize how good he is or how good he can be. But I think once he figures that out, I think we're going to see some great things out of him.
So Robert Thomas is a driver as a centerman. I mean, as he goes, his line will go. This one's a little bit different. Pius Suter, we're kind of learning who he is, and I talked to Holloway about him for a little bit this morning, and he just raves about his hockey sense and his hockey IQ, how smart he is. But it feels like the chemistry on that line is between the two wingers, which we don't traditionally see all the time. So what's the job of a guy like Suter to play with two guys who can really cook and speed, and skate the way the Kyrous and the Holloways can, and the chemistry that those two guys have together?
Well, I think just getting the line and then dishing it off. I mean, I think we saw that on the goal last night. The goal, I mean, he made a nice backhand pass to Holloway, who gave it to Kyrou and got it back. So it's just a matter of a guy winning faceoffs. I mean, they're going to have a lot of offensive zone faceoffs. Center iceman, I think, very important to win the faceoffs in the offensive zone. But I mean, he can drive a lot. I mean, if you're aware where if you've got two really talented wingers, one on each side, the way those two guys can score. If you got your head on a swivel, you're going to find them in really good spots to score goals because they're going to get into those soft spots. They're going to get in the spots they're open to score with. So again, last night was a small sample of seeing what Suter can do. We all know what Robert Thomas can do. Is he going to end up on a line with those two? Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen, but certainly I think that Monty has a lot of ability to mix and match his top two lines. And even actually when you got Neighbors, you've got Shen, you've got a lot of guys. I've got 8 guys that you can really mix and match on the top two lines. And it's going to be interesting what they do. And I think that they can score a bunch of goals.
So when Thomas was playing with Kyrou, I mean, it was pretty obvious Thomas was the passer and Kyrou was the shooter. When Kyrou came out of junior, he put up a lot of points, got a lot of assists. I think he had 70 assists his last year. And his coaches there would rave about his playmaking ability. Can playing with Holloway kind of bring some of that playmaking out of him, maybe, versus playing with Thomas, where Thomas has the puck all the time and he's just looking for Kyrou? Will this be a little bit of a different game for Kyrou to playing with Holloway, even though we saw him play with him a lot last season?
No, I don't think so. Because I mean, Holloway's always looking for. I mean, if you watch the way the two of them played last night, they were looking for each other. I mean, I think when you know you have a skilled guy on the other side, you're going to look for him. And I think both those guys are very capable of passing the puck, and we saw it last night. But you know what, Robert Thomas, you know, where is he? I mean, Robert Thomas is a right-hand shot. Usually the left hand, you know, the left winger is going to probably benefit from that. I mean, with Suter being a left-handed shot, he's probably going to be using Kyrou more than he's going to use Holloway. So I mean, you're going to see some, you know, mixing and matching that. But I think that that nowadays the way the game is played, the right winger ends up on the left side, the left winger ends up on the right side an awful lot, so that you can go in a position where you're in a one-timer. So I think there's a lot of mix and matching, and I think that when you're a skilled guys, when you've got the IQ that they have, hockey sense wise, it doesn't really matter what position that you're saying that they're playing, because the winger really is not the right winger. He can go all over. The center iceman nowadays, you know, they're responsible for the 200-foot game, but once they cross into the offensive zone, they're going to go where they want to go, and they're going to make things happen.
So Monty's trying to figure out who's going to be that third line winger to play with Neighbors and Schenn. And it's been a little bit of a revolving door. Now Bukestad's going to get an opportunity against Ottawa. And I talked to Bukestad today. He's played a lot of wing throughout the course of his career, more center, but he has played the wing. So explain why it's a little bit easier to go from center to wing versus going from wing to center.
Well, because center iceman's responsibility is the full 200 feet. I mean, you're the guy that has to come back. I mean, you're supposed to be the guy on the forecheck, and you're supposed to be the first guy back too, to make sure you help into the corners. I mean, that's where team play comes on, because the first guy's coming back, whether it's a winger or a center iceman. Usually it's going to be the winger, because the center iceman's already in doing the forechecking. But when the winger comes back into the corner, when the center iceman gets back, it's now the time for the switch to happen. So the winger goes back to cover his position, which is either, you know, on the puck's in his side, he's on the point. If the puck's in the other corner, then he's in the slot to make sure that, you know, he's covering the man that's going to be in the high slot or whatever. But, you know, for a center iceman used to being mixing and matching and moving all over the place, it makes it easier for him to all of a sudden say, okay, now you don't have to be the full 200 foot game. You have to go as far. I mean, if you're high in the offensive zone, if there's a turnover, the puck, you're coming back, you're the high man, you go back, and as soon as you get back into the corner, as soon as your center iceman gets back, all you're doing is getting back and getting to where your normal position is. So it's much more positional as a winger than it is as a center iceman, because center iceman has to play all over the place, where a winger just has his kind of you know, his role. He knows where he's supposed to be at a certain time when the puck's in the offensive zone or in the defensive zone.
Yeah, and Monty, even talking to him this morning, like he likes Sundqvist as a center versus a wing, because he likes his stick down low, and he's talked about that in the past and whatnot. So obviously that 200-foot game you're talking about, specifically in the D end, our D zone, like Sundqvist knows how to get around the defensive end for sure, and the offensive end. So it's a matter of just trying to find that piece. But Bukestad is a guy, he's got some size, right? I mean, so I would think that he'd probably get the first crack at it, don't you think, to play, you know, be in that lineup on opening night to play with Schenn?
Yeah, I would say so, Andy, because he's a right-handed shot. I mean, I think they need a right-handed shot on that third line. I mean, if you've already got, you know, Kyrou there as a right-handed shot, and then you've got I'm trying to blank who's the other right winger.
Bucci?
Well, Bucci's going to play the left side.
Snuggerud.
And then what's that?
Snuggerud.
Yeah, no, Snuggerud, exactly. So Snuggerud, so you got Snuggerud, a right-hand shot, and you've also got Kyra's right-hand shot. So now all of a sudden you need a third right-hand shot. And really, even the fourth line right now, they don't really have a right-hand shot, because I mean, Toropchenko and Walker are both left-handed shots. One's playing the right side, and again, well, you know, whoever you've got in the middle there, whether it's Sundqvist, he's a right-handed shot. So unless you put him on the right side and move someone into the middle, I mean, I think that right now the Blues are in a situation that they don't have a lot of right-hand shots there on the forward position, that they're probably going to have to try, you know, to use Bukestad on that right side. But I mean, there's lots of guys that are really good players that can play the off wing. There's no question that there's a lot of guys in this league that can thrive playing, you know, the right side, even as a left-handed shot. I mean, it's much easier as a right winger, especially coming around the boards in your own zone, because you can take the puck off the boards without getting crunched for the most part. But I think that's going to be something that's going to be up for grabs right now. But I would guess that I would agree with you that it's probably going to be Dukestead getting a chance on that third line first as a right winger.
What have you seen from Dvorsky? And he's a natural center. He's played center his whole life. They drafted him as a center. Are you in favor of sometimes forcing the issue? Okay, let's move him to wing just to get him here now, or let him marinate a little bit longer in his natural position and not force it to get him to the NHL because he's only 20. He's going to be here before too long anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I mean that's always I guess an organizational decision there. I'd love to see. I mean, when you get a first round pick, like he has played really good. Last year in the American League, is he ready? I mean, is there a position for him? I mean, that's the whole deal. Is that I mean, I go back to my days when I was ready to come up. I mean, Mr. Francis made the traded Sanderson, to Vancouver so that I could get right into the situation, not as a fourth line guy, but as a second or third line guy. And that's something that maybe has to happen if there's not a position for, Dvorsky now. To me, there's nothing wrong with, he wants to stay here. Who wants to go to the minors? You know what? It's mostly an organizational thing. Well, we want him to go to the minors because we want him to learn how to play center iceman better against men. He'll have play the power play. He'll kill penalties. He'll get much more ice time in the minors. But with that being said, if he's beneficial and if he can help the club up here with his scoring prowess, then you want to keep him here. But I mean, that's going to have to be a decision that's made with them. But certainly he looks good out there. I mean, I love the way he plays. I even when he was up last year. But as we talked yesterday, and you can't. As a first round pick and a high scoring player, you can't come up to the NHL and be on a fourth line and expect to get something out of a kid that would match where he was drafted. I mean, you've got to be a first or second line player like Snuggerud was. He comes in and goes right to the top line, and then he can prove what he can do. But if you come in, if Snuggerud ended up on the fourth line in the playoffs last year, we wouldn't know how good is he, what can he do, because he really never got the opportunity.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting how that plays out. You see Broberg last night gets the goal with the wraparound, and I mean his skating is just so elite. I mean, it just kind of, his entire game seems predicated around his skating, although he's got a good stick and he can defend too. What's the next step for him moving into this season?
Well, I think it's just progression. I mean, I think we all saw what he did last year. I mean, we obviously didn't see him in Edmonton or in the minors, but what he did last year, and he established himself as a top four defenseman on this hockey club last year, a pretty good hockey club, especially when you had the veteran guys that they have. I mean, this Blues defense is very experienced, and what he's now in a situation where he's certainly a top four guy. Will he be a top two guy? I kind of think so by watching the way he plays the game, the way he's so smart out there. He's strong, physical. He knows exactly what his job is, and for him to join the play like he did and score the goal the way he did last night. I mean, those are little extra things that we haven't seen of him yet, but we did see some signs of that last year when he would jump up with a play. He scored some really good goals, scored a couple of nice overtime goals, jumping up with a play. So I think he's a complete package. I mean, I think Edmonton fans are going to look back at this deal that Army made last year and say, have nightmares over that for a long time, because I think that these two kids are going to be two of the best players that are going to be cornerstone franchise players for the Blues as the future goes on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we really haven't even seen Mayu play a ton either. But I mean, for a guy who's played 8 games in his career, he's got so much confidence, Bernie. And I mean, you forget how young these guys are and how little experience they have. I mean, this guy's going to be a good hockey player before too long.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different grind. I mean, he hasn't played much at this level. I mean, played in the American League and was successful in the American League, scored some goals, was a physical presence, and now it's harder. There's no question. It's harder. I mean, they're bouncing around all over the place now, playing 82 games. There's a lot of games to be played, and yeah, I mean, I think the jury's still going to be out. I mean, that's the third pairing right now, Mayu and Tucker. And that's going to, they're both physical. Are they going to stay together, or are they going to get broken up? Who knows what's going to happen with this, Andy? But I think Mayo's got a great opportunity. They've told him that they're going to go with him. and now he's just going to have to develop. But it's not an easy thing. I've said it all along. I think the hardest position to come into the NHL at is on defense, because no matter how good you are, you're playing against junior players or college players or American League players. When you get to the NHL, everybody skates every bit as good as you do. I mean, there's maybe a handful of elite players in the league that skate better than everybody else, but the other 560 guys or whatever is out there, they all skate as well as you do. So it's hard when you're skating backwards, you're turning, you got to be in position. You can't get caught. You can't get, you got to make sure you move up with the play. So you got to keep the puck inside the blue line. And then you got to get back. You got to stagger for your partner. There's so many things that a defenseman has to learn, and it's going to be difficult. But he's got a great attitude. But you know what? We saw Tucker's attitude last year. I think that he's going to get the opportunity, and let's hope that he turns into a really, really great player.
Yeah. And I know how much you love the goaltending, how much confidence you have in the Blues goaltending. Fowler gets a 3-year contract extension. That's a good deal for him, right?
It is. I mean,
yeah.
It's a ground. I think it's a good deal for both both the Cam and for the Blues. I mean, I didn't know what to expect out of Cam. I mean, I saw more out of Cam last year, obviously here, than I saw, seeing the Ducks play 3 times a year. But I mean, Cam played way better for the Blues last year than I've seen him play for the Ducks the prior couple of 2 or 3 years before. But that is because of the type of team the Ducks had, and he wasn't in the same role as he is now with the Blues. So I think the situation now bodes well for Cam. He came in, had a great finish to the year. I think he earned an extension on his contract. I think he does a great job paired with Federko. Those two guys can not only shut teams down, but they're great. They do a good job offensively. So I think this is a really smart move by the Blues to hang on to a veteran guy like that, because they just lost 2 veteran guys in Leddy and in Suter. So to pick up a 33 or 34-year-old guy like Cam Fowler, I think is a really positive fit.
Hey, do you like the playoff format as it currently sits, the 2 versus 3, the wild cards, or would you like to see them go back to the traditional 1 versus 8?
Well, I'd like to see either 1 versus 8, or I'd like to see 1 versus 4 in the division. You know what? If there's going to be 8 teams, I don't care if it's divisional or if it's Pacific and in Central. I think that yes, if it's not going to be 1 versus 4 in your own division, then it should be 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7. Yeah, I'd like to see that, because I think that especially as strong right now as the Central League is right now, you lose a really good team in the first round that you shouldn't lose.
Yeah. Who's the real quick? Who's the one team that you could see falling out of the top 3? If St. Louis is able to get into that top 3, which isn't always the best thing. I mean, you got to play that 2 seed if you're the 3, and the 2 seed sometimes is the best team in the division. You just never know how it's going to shake out. But who's the one team you could see between the Winnipegs and the Dallases and the Colorados? Could you see any of those teams falling out?
Yeah, I think Winnipeg's going to be a question mark. I think that they had a great year last year. I mean, goaltending was so good. I mean, last year for the Winnipeg Jets, and what they had, they got on a roll right off the bat, and they played very, very well. But I question, can they keep that going? I mean, yeah, they got a solid hockey club, but are they going to be able to put together numbers like they did last year? I mean, I really like Dallas still. I like Colorado. I think they're really, 2 really good teams. But I mean, I think that obviously Minnesota is going to be a little bit better. I think Nashville is going to be way better too, Andy, because and certainly you can't look at Utah being a light team. I mean, the Blues were right in with the Utah hockey club right through the end of the year. So I mean, I think that this is the best division in hockey right now, and I think it's going to continue to be really strong. And every divisional game, I think, is going to be really, really important.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Bernie, thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. Always great to catch up with you. I know the fans love hearing from the Hall of Famer as well. So thanks for doing this, and we'll be seeing a lot from you here coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be fun on the road with you too, Andy. We'll have some fun. It's going to be fun watching this Blues hockey. So I'm excited. I'm cautiously optimistic this is going to be a really great year.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you as well. Thanks, Bernie. Appreciate it as always.
You betcha.
Take care. That's Bernie Federko, the Hall of Famer. Always great to catch up with Bernie, and so much more to happen and to come. And you're going to be seeing a lot from Bernie coming up this season with the, kind of the new format we're doing on television with the road shows, the pre and post game shows, now broadcasting live on the road. You're going to see Bernie with me a lot on these road shows too. So I'm happy about that, and I know the fans will be as well, to see Bernie Federko on the road, taking us to all the restaurants. He knows where to eat. He knows where how to find his way to the best restaurants in every single one of these cities. So, I'm looking forward to that. First Community Credit Union brings us Hockey Sense each and every week, live here from the Half Coast Studios. Again, sign your son or daughter up for that Little Blues program, ages 4 through 9, reasonable cost. You get all your equipment with it. And that is the icing on the cake right there, when all your equipment comes with your registration. And that includes the stick, it includes the helmet, the skates, everything. So if you're overwhelmed thinking, I don't know what to buy my son or daughter if they want to get started in ice hockey, you don't have to worry about it. Just sign them up for Little Blues and you'll have all that taken care of, which is absolutely incredible. Kirkwood Fence. These guys are absolutely unbelievable. I just had some storm damage from the recent tornado that we had back in April. Man, it destroyed a little bit of my fence. Most of it held up because Kirkwood Fence does such a good job. But in the events you have some damage, you want to make sure you are working with a company that will stay true to their word and is going to come out and give you that customer service that you not only want, but you absolutely deserve. You get that from Kirkwood Fence. Had my fence done with them. Would never have it done with anybody else. These guys are absolutely professionals. They know what they're doing. They've got all different types of fences, by the way. Chain link fences, ornamental fences, pool code fences. If you've got the swimming pool in the backyard, the vinyl fences, which is what I have. You want a wood fence? Listen, they can help you out with that. Aluminum fence. Commercial properties. They do it all. Kirkwood Fence. They are incredible. Give them a call today. Schedule an appointment. They'll come out and give you that free estimate too, which is always nice. Measure your yard, tell you exactly what you need, and they're not going to nickel and dime you. 314-966-3333. How easy is that to remember? 314-966-3333 for Kirkwood Fence, baby. Again, dirt cheap, fun, your one-stop party shop. Find the location nearest you. Get that delivery going. Use the promo code BLUES. You'll get free delivery. Doesn't get much better than that. Lordo's Diamonds. Get that special someone, something special in your life. Cross Country Mortgage. Again, 314-713-4377. Call Mark Cooper today. All right, for everybody affiliated with this edition of Hockey Sense, Bernie Federko, Jamal Mayers, I'm Andy Strickland, reminding you to keep your head up and your stick on the ice. Let's see some comments there. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, who you want to hear from, and what your thoughts are for this upcoming season. Next Thursday, October 9th, is the season opener against the Minnesota Wild, if you can believe that. Can't wait. Thanks for hanging out, as always, in this edition of Hockey Sense.